Hey, it's Jared with Gear and Light. Today we're going to talk about 10 GoPro Hero 10 accessories that I think are must-haves. These are part of my kit that I carry with me on pretty much every shoot. Anything that I'm doing that's going to use a GoPro, these are the items that I bring. So the first thing we're going to talk about is ND filters. ND filters are huge for a GoPro because there's only a few settings that you can change in a GoPro manually. And one of the things that you need to do in order to get footage that looks good and can match up with other cameras, you're going to have to block some of the light, especially if you're outside in very bright situations. You're going to need to be able to block out some of the light so you could bring your shutter speed down to something more reasonable. And these ND filter kits are very easy to apply and snap on. I've got a GoPro right here, and with this GoPro I could just simply rotate and pull this off, and this is an ND8 filter. This one right here is a Polar Pro, and I really like the Polar Pro filters, although there are a lot of different manufacturers making these different filters, and Polar Pro is just one of them. So this pack of filters here, I don't even remember what brand they are because it doesn't say. Oh, these are Tiffin brand ND filters, also really good. And then Freewell also has ND filters. They've got a lot of ND filters, and I like the ND filters that they produce as well. ND filters are a great option, but there are lots of different filter types that you can choose from. ND just being the one that I carry with me all the time because I'm usually shooting outdoors with my GoPro, and with my GoPro cameras I want the best footage as possible, so ND filters help out a lot. The next thing that I find myself using all the time is some variety of a clamping bracket such as this. A clamping bracket is going to make it very easy for me to clamp a GoPro to pretty much anything. You can see I've got a clamp here that's adjustable. It's kind of a claw style and it opens up really wide, and then I can even get it down pretty small, and it can either pinch clamp on something or clamp to something round or square just by tightening that down. And then there's an arm attached to it here that makes it easy for me to angle the GoPro at whatever angle I would like. And then there's a 1/4-20 on the end, meaning I can attach any accessory to this, this clamp, making it more useful than just for GoPros. But very easy for me to attach a GoPro to the base of this and then clamp the GoPro anywhere that I need it. And that means it's going to be nice and stable because this clamp is way better than the plasticky little clamps that you can get that typically are marketed for GoPros. And then I can adjust this at any angle. I've attached this in my vehicle to the handle that I use to get in and out of my vehicle. I've attached this to all sorts of things, even outside of an airplane, clamping it onto the side of an airplane to get a unique perspective on a small aircraft. Pretty cool. Clamps are super useful. Another one that's been very useful to me lately is utilizing this cage that also makes it easy for you to mount the GoPro audio jack accessory. This GoPro audio jack accessory accepts USB-C for charging and then also a headphone in jack, and it allows you to attach that to this cage that my GoPro Hero 10 is inside of. And what makes that really nice is that this isn't just flopping around, and by design all it would do is flop around unless you use some adhesive tape or something to keep it from moving around. And in this case it's very easy just to slide it right in there, and then there's a quick release on here so I could just detach this if I don't need it. Then I can easily reattach it and it snaps right into place. It has the GoPro mount on the bottom of it, and so I can mount this to anything, including a tripod mount. And now I have an all-in-one unit that accepts audio. It will allow me to charge at the same time, and it has two cold shoe mounts for something that can slide in, which we'll talk about next. And the next item is the Rode Videomicro. So if I wanted to build out a little vlogging kit here or something like that, where I'm shooting on a GoPro, capturing better audio than what the GoPro can capture by itself, I've got the Videomicro here. I plug it into this headphone jack like so, and now the audio is coming in through this microphone, this mini shotgun microphone, which is going to cancel out noise from behind it and do a better job of capturing audio in front of it. And so now I have like a micro vlogging solution, or if I wanted to record an interview or something like that, I've got a better solution for audio capture than I would have otherwise. And so combining this Rode Videomicro with this kind of cage setup that allows you to attach an audio device to your GoPro is a fantastic solution. So we've got the cage, we've got the Rode VideoMic, and then if you need to uniquely place something and a clamp isn't going to work, a suction cup mount is extremely important. Now, early on, I would buy the ones from GoPro or just buy the cheapest one that I could find, and they do not work that well. These suction cup mounts need to be stable or you're gonna have shaky video footage. Think about mounting this onto something. If this is not a good mount and this is shaking, your GoPro footage is not going to look good. And if you are in a vehicle or you're in something where there's going to be a lot of vibration, then you're definitely going to want a suction cup mount that works really well. This particular one is from PGY Tech, and I came across these on Amazon and bought one because I liked the look. And I thought it had good adjustability, and it ended up being even more stable than I thought. It comes with kind of an articulating arm here, so we can mount this to the window. We can adjust the GoPro to pretty much any angle that we want, and that's a really good solution right there. I think this arm has been in this particular suction cup mount with the arm has been in an aircraft at least a dozen times with me. It's been in my vehicle. Sometimes I just leave it in my vehicle, and it's had a lot of heat abuse from the sun as well, and it's held up. And I have 2 more of these because I use them so often. There's just a little push down flap that sucks in the suction cup for you, and then you just release the flap, and there's a little pull tab right here that very easily pulls it right off of whatever flat surface, whether it be a window or the side of a vehicle or something like that. It does a fantastic job. Now, with all that cool content you're going to be creating, you're going to need a good way to organize your SD cards. And your micro SD cards are challenging because they're so small. They can easily get lost. And so I found this credit card size adapter that you just slide all of your micro SD cards in. It has a slot for the SD card adapter. And this is just a really neat tool. Makes it very easy for me to keep all of my micro SD cards with me, and it does not take up much room at all. I'll make sure to link to this down in the description below. Now, after a while, you probably ran out of the adhesive mounts that you got when you purchased your GoPro. You could buy these in bulk, and I found that these bulk options that come with a ton of the brackets and also a ton of the adhesives are just as good as the GoPro brand. This essentially is also still just 3M VHB double-sided stick tape, which is the same stuff you're going to get with the GoPro. These plastic mounts are maybe a little weaker than the GoPro plastic mounts. I haven't broken one yet, but just in looking at them, they are a little bit thinner, but I think they're still going to hold up really well. I haven't had any problems, and I've used one whole bag and about, I'd say, a fourth of this bag on different things. It makes it really easy because now these are so cheap, I can mount these to things and not worry about them, where before I had to be really sure I wanted to use my GoPro mount, adhesive mount on something before using it, because if you buy them from GoPro, they're kind of expensive. If you buy them in bulk off of Amazon, they're very cheap. And you can mount up pretty much everything, and it's not a problem. I haven't had any issues with these so far, and of course they are pretty much the exact same as what you would have gotten from GoPro, just maybe a little bit different with the mold, but they're pretty strong. I mean, I'm twisting on it pretty hard and pulling on the edges here pretty hard on the mount edges, and it's not going to go anywhere. Of course, any of these could get broken, even the GoPro brand. If you hit the side of a GoPro pretty hard, it's going to snap these off. But these are durable, and I haven't had any issues with them. So buy in bulk, so that way you can put GoPro mounts on anything and everything. Now, you probably noticed that I've got tripod mounts on pretty much all of my GoPros with the 1/4-20 at the bottom. I call it a tripod mount because that's what GoPro calls it. It's so that you can attach a 1/4-20. I've got that 1/4-20 is on the suction cup mount. It is on the arm that we looked at earlier with the clamp, and it's also on the Manfrotto Pixie tripod that we're going to look at here, along with this little mount. So you can get these mounts aftermarket as well. You don't have to buy the one from GoPro. And this 1/4-20 mount, 1/4-20 is a photography standard, and you can put this on something like this little Pixie tripod here. And this Pixie tripod now is a nice mount for your GoPro. Once I tighten that down, I can, of course, adjust my GoPro. There's a little button here on the side that allows me to move the head of the tripod around at any angle. And then, of course, there's tripod feet here. So if I want to shoot down low, I could point that and then adjust my GoPro angle down even a bit more and get a nice low angle, or I can get a higher angle. And also, if I am looking to do some of that vlogging like I talked about earlier, having a nice little micro vlog setup. I mean, if you add the Pixie to this setup that I started kind of putting together earlier, you have yourself a pretty legit micro vlog setup. This Pixie works as a great handle, and then I can adjust this to any angle that I want, and then boom, I'm vlogging. I've got the GoPro, which I could use for a lot of different things. I've got the shotgun mic to capture my audio. I can then put out the tripod legs, and I've got a camera for shooting time lapses, longer form video, or even just, rather than hand holding it, adjusting the angle, getting it perfect, and then talking direct to camera. This is a cool little setup, and definitely something that's very easy to take with you because it's so small. And so with the Pixie tripod, the GoPro tripod mount, that definitely makes that possible. Now, for those of you that maybe want to do things a little bit better with your audio, you want to step that up a bit, there is another microphone system that we're going to talk about as one of the last items here, and then I've got a couple of bonus items we'll talk about. This is a wireless microphone system from Rode, and so we take the receiver and we just slide this right on here and then plug that into the microphone jack on the adapter, and this is wireless, and then we put the other end of it on ourself or on our subject, and now we're getting really good audio, even if you're not super close to the camera where something like a shotgun microphone could still pick up a little bit of background noise. You have a microphone like this where you can mount it to somebody and get their audio. Now, this particular set here comes with 2 of these microphones, and so you could actually do an interview. You can put one on your subject and one on yourself, and then point the GoPro camera at both of you, and you're going to get one audio source per channel. And so both of them are going to come in as 2 channels, and then you can take that audio and edit it or do whatnot. But it's going to be a great audio experience as opposed to using something like a shotgun microphone or just using the microphones that are on your GoPro, which are going to pick up all sorts of room noise and other stuff like that. So a fantastic solution for creating something that is very versatile and very usable in a lot of different ways. So what were those bonus items that I talked about? Well, the first thing is these new batteries that GoPro just put out. These batteries are, they have longer life, and they also work in harsher environments as well. I'm using my GoPro mounted on the side of small airplanes, on the side of vehicles. I'm leaving them out for long periods of time to do time lapses, and having a battery that has longer life, and then also a battery that can handle colder weather, because I live in northwestern Montana, is super important. And so these longer lasting batteries are welcomed for me, and I think are a great additional accessory. Charging batteries can also be kind of tricky for GoPros because there's a lot of batteries, and charging solutions sometimes are needed. And this Andycine box right here allows you to charge up to 3 batteries at a time, GoPro batteries, which is great. So it's a battery in and of itself, and all you have to do is just pop in a battery. So it has these little deals in here just kind of keeping the dust and debris out of that section, and you just go and drop in your GoPro battery. So I'll go ahead and drop in a GoPro battery right here, and you can see it's automatically powered itself on, and it has an identifier there to show me how full the overall battery is. Now, this is great because this allows me to charge batteries even when I don't have a charging source. And I might be in the middle of a shoot or somewhere where I just don't have a USB-C cable that I could plug in, and this very easily makes it possible for me to shoot longer because I can charge my batteries. Now, another thing that's integrated into the top here is ability to store a couple of micro SD cards. And so I showed you earlier my micro SD card holder that I love, but you can also store some micro SD cards here in the top of this while you're charging up to 3 batteries. And then, of course, it has USB-C for charging the overall battery in this box here, but it also has USB-A out. So you could plug this directly into a GoPro itself, essentially charging 4 batteries at the same time. Now, you're probably wondering, yeah, how many batteries can I charge with this little device before it runs out of power? Well, I've been able to charge 4 GoPro batteries pretty much to completion. I had 3 batteries in here that were pretty much dead, and then I plugged a GoPro into the back and charged for to the completion of all of those. I had these batteries that were internal, fully charged, and the GoPro was 100% charged and ready to go. An excellent accessory to take with you on those shoots or on those excursions where you don't have additional charging, but you want to be able to charge some GoPro batteries. And the last bonus item is just an interesting mount that you can use to clamp your GoPro onto other things. This small little mount here by Small Rig has a 1/4-20 in the bottom of it, and it will attach to anything. It could even just be something as simple as a tripod, or if you have 1/4-20 on a lot of different things, you just put this little base on it. And so we'll use this tripod as an example. And I have the receiving end of that adapter on the GoPro mount already, and so you attach that onto the GoPro, and then you just simply snap this right in. And so we'll rotate it around and push down the little lever, and boom, it's attached. And then push down the lever and it pops out. And so if you're tired of unscrewing that 1/4-20 mount and you would rather just be able to snap your GoPro into a lot of different things, you have some of these receivers on different things like a tripod, on a clamp, on top of your camera, however you're using your GoPro, and then boom, you just pull the little lever down and it locks right in. And it's just a very simple way of attaching and removing your GoPro camera to different things, and it's very secure. There's no way of pulling that off. It's locked in place, and this one little lever pull and release. And I have a video coming out soon where I'm going to review a lot of these different attachment styles, these different brackets. And so if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe to the channel here on Gear and Light. So that's going to do it for this video. Make sure to click on the links down in the description below to all these products that we looked at. If you have any questions or comments, use the comment section down below. And if you like this video, make sure to click the thumbs up video and subscribe to our channel here on Gear and Light to be notified when we put out new videos. That's going to do it for today. Thanks.